we're showing you how to make these face masks. And this is what they look like, finished product. We got a couple of them here that are done. And I'll put a link down below for the instructions. We did make some adjustments to those instructions that we found, just to make things a little bit easier for us, but pretty good pattern otherwise. But the hopefully this will make it a little bit easier. But if you come get a kit from us, they're already cut out, ready to go. So we're just going to show you kind of how to assemble them. So first of all, you're going to put together the pieces of it'll come with 2 of these big pieces. You're going to put them together so that the right sides are just stacked like this, so that you can see there's a right side and a wrong side. And the reason that we're doing this way, I'll show you with this finished one, is so that it makes it very obvious which side is the inside of the mask. So if they're grabbing these masks in a hurry, they know which side goes against their face. So you're just going to take them and lay them one right on top of the other. We are serging the edges, so you can see right here they're serged, but you can just stitch them together, even baste them together, and they will be fine. So you're just, you're going to put them right one on top of the other like that, and then you're going to serge them or sew around the edge with a 1/4 inch seam, so they come out looking like that. Okay, here's the next step after you have it serged together or sewed together.
You take the more pointy part on the top with the right side down. So this is the wrong side. The right side's underneath. And you take it about 1.5 inches down and you fold it up 1/4 inch. Put a pin in it. And you come about to here and you fold it up 1/4 inch. And then a 3rd time about here, you do the same thing and fold it up. And your finished side, if you do it right, should be approximately 3 inches, which is it's approximately 3 inches. Then you go to the other side and you do the same thing, fold it up and kind of try to make it so you have a fold going all the way, and it's about a 1/4 inch fold like that. Then you do the same thing here, 1/4 inch fold. And then the 3rd one. You measure it. It's approximately 3 inches. Make sure they're both about the same. This is about a 3 inches, 3 1/8 inches. And that gives you your pleats going up. And then you just iron them down like this. They'll kind of stay in place. And then the next thing you're going to do is just sew a 1/4 inch on each side to put the pleats in place.
Okay, once you have the pleats done on the side, you're just going to sew up the sides with a 1/4 inch seam. Just like this. And if you're lucky, you'll have as much fun as we are. Flip it over and do the other side. That's finished on the sides. Okay, so next what we're going to do once you've got the sides sewn is you're going to take your mask and you're going to fold it in half. This one's kind of hard to see that the wrong side is out, but you can see on that one the wrong side. So the right side's in, the wrong side's out. And take your pattern and we're going to want to mark the, what do we call this? Darts? The darts. Okay, so we just want to put a little pin right here. There's other ways to do this. This is how we're choosing to do it. If this is not precise enough for you, then mark it in a different way. But we're just putting a pin at the edges of where the dart is. Like this. Okay, so now you can see that the dart starts here and there, and we're going to sew across like that. And then we're going to put it on the bottom one also.
If they don't feel comfortable with that, they can draw a line from there to there.
So if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can draw a line like this with a pencil, because you're going to sew across it and then you're going to cut that off. And this is on the wrong side anyway, so you can draw a line. We're not drawing a line, we're just gonna sew it. But beginners may want to draw a line. So we're just putting a mark in. Oh, it's not even. Well, it's not 100% the same, see? All right, we're trying to get it precise. And again, this pattern does not print to scale, so we had to do a little geometry. Yes, you do use geometry after you get out of high school. We had to do a little geometry because it prints right here. These are the lines, but this needed to be 5.5 inches from here to here, and it wasn't. So we had to use a little geometry to make it to scale. So keep that in mind. If you just print it, make sure that you measure the dimensions and make sure they're accurate. Otherwise, you got to use geometry or get a copy of our pattern. Okay, now we're coming back to the machine and we're just going to sew from that mark to that mark again. You can go ahead and draw a line to sew this, not just use pins like we are, but we're just eyeballing it here. You're done sewing, then you're going to take it and you're going to trim it.
1/4 inch seam. No, that's
1/4 inch seams. We're going to trim it. Excuse our little helpers in the background. Okay.
okay, and that makes the darts.
That makes the darts. Okay. We're going to take the short pieces of fabric. These are the short 10-inch strips. And I'm not going to show you on the black one because it's too hard to see, so we're going to use this polka dot one. But we're just going to start by folding it in half. We're basically going to make our own binding. So we're going to fold it in half and iron it. Like that. And then we're going to fold it into the center. I don't have to go all the way into the center, just in 1/4 inch. And iron it. That. Flip it over. And do the same thing on the other side. that for both of them.
Wrong side up. And you put your piece of fabric.
This is the one that we just ironed into a binding. So if you can't tell, it's the wrong side of the mask and the wrong side of the binding piece that we just made.
Actually, it's wrong, right side to wrong side.
Right. I'm saying wrong sides are up.
And you just,
We're going to use that little binding piece for both sides here. So again, the wrong sides are both facing up. Just 1/4 inch seams.
all right. Then you can just finger press it like that. Turn it over and fold it up. Pin in it. Fold it up 1/4 of an inch. Just over so you cover the stitching so it looks finished. And put a pin in it. All right. Then you just sew along the edge. And then you take your scissors and just trim it off even, the edges. And do the other side. And then trim it off.
Trimming it right up to the edges there because we're going to cover that with the straps.